The High Priestess is back. All hail the High Priestess. So yesterday I was ill and I didn't get up till gone midday today, so don't be too mean on me if I'm late. But on that theme of being ill, Tom, next week you're probably going to be ill because there's a pattern developing. The High Priestess is ill, I'm ill, that means you're going to be ill next, Tom. Now assemblies, I'm reminded of those things in school where we used to have to sit cross-legged on the floor, and I must obviously have really bad circulation because every time I would end up with a dead leg, or pins and needles, or both. Now am I the only one who found it annoying that teachers would insist that we had to sit cross-legged on the floor virtually every day, despite the fact that they would refuse to do it themselves? Anyhow, teachers being not always hypocrites aside, I should probably regale you with some stories of a few assemblies. Now, the first of these stories is from when I was 11, and it's actually our final assembly from primary school. For those of you who are outside of the UK, or those who need reminding, at the end of year 6 you sit SATs and you get a level from 3 to 6. So 3 is below average, 4 is average, and 5 is above average. And 6 is this level which is very rarely got, because it's the equivalent of the average of people 3 years older than you. I was in this group which took extra maths classes and sat the special level 6 exam. That's right, it's so difficult to get that you had to sit an extra exam on top of the ordinary one to be able to get it. Now I came out of the exam and I was immediately worried because I thought I'd got one of the questions wrong. So we get to this assembly, which is where they gave us the results, and they announced that someone in our year had got this level 6. Now at this point I'm getting quite excited. So the speaker says who got it, and it's someone else. So suddenly my excitement vanishes, because I'd been expecting to get it, and I was actually quite disappointed at this moment. Probably the most disappointed I remember feeling in school. Next thing I know, our head teacher is running over and pointing at something on the notes. It turned out that our guest speaker had made a mistake, and in fact, I had got it. Story number 2 was from secondary school. I was 14 or 15 I think. This was a point in assemblies where we had progressed from sitting on the floor, to sitting on benches, to sitting on the floor again, to sitting on chairs, and back to sitting on the floor. Now in this assembly, one of our sports teachers decided to do a magic trick. So he asked for a volunteer from the school, and then asked for their watch and their mobile phone. So he does all the fancy magician stuff, and puts them into a bag, and does all the fancy magician stuff again, and then smashes them with a mallet, and then does all the fancy magician stuff and takes them out of the bag. Now at this point, I expect that you're expecting them to be fine. He pulls them out of the bag and they're okay, and that's the trick. He smashed them with a mallet and nothing happened. But in fact, that's not what happened. He pulled them out of the bag and they were completely destroyed. Now the main point of this assembly was not the magic trick, but the fact that he has his own phone and his own watch in the bag, with the moral of the assembly being, things aren't always what you expect. Now as good a moral as that is, that's not the moral that I got from that assembly. What I got from it is if you want to leave an idea in someone, especially in the minds of impressionable teenagers, have a fancy show or a magic trick to go with it. Don't forget to be awesome, and Tom, I'll see you tomorrow.